Listen. Okay, what?
Biflation.
Please, I don't have any time for any gossip now. Eh? Yes.
All right. Welcome to Hood Talk. And this is Mr. Know-It-All. And I'm here with Miss Bella.
Hello, everybody.
Ready to get this party started. Yeah, ready to get
Ain't nothing to it but to do it.
I want to start off saying rest in peace, Kevin Samuels. I don't know what's going on with the world today. They're just knocking off all positive black men around here. First it was Tupac, and then it was It just Malcolm X,
First it was who? Did you say Tupac?
Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Prince, Michael Jackson, DMX, everybody that we just turned around and said, hey, and now Kevin Samuels. And it take them a whole 24 hours just to tell the world that you ain't here no more. Something is going on. It is a conspiracy.
Oh my goodness.
It's a conspiracy. You know it's a conspiracy.
Wait a minute. First you said Martin Luther King, Tupac, Michael Jackson, Prince, Malcolm X, and now it's Kevin Samuels.
Yep. I just don't know what to say.
So you put him up there too with everybody else?
Yeah. Okay. When a man reach a level of greatness, see, reason I say that because within 2 years, a man that only had 20,000 subscribers, and I remember when he had 20,000 because I was right there, like, yeah. You remember when I was telling you back when we first started, because I didn't know nothing about him at first. There was a couple of other, dudes that I used to be around every now and then, and, Coach and all the other people. And then he just popped up and just told everybody to move out his way. And he just came through like a hurricane, said boom, 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 boom. He starts taking some of my stuff off my sets. No, just he started having it like glowing like me and stuff. I said, look out now. Look out now. He got some class. Then he started wearing suits and stuff. I said, Lord, I just can't wear the suits like that, but hopefully one day I grow up somewhere. But it's a sad day when when anybody died. But anybody that was kind of trying to do good for both people, he was, he was trying to get women and men together on the right spot. He was trying to get men in order and try to, tell women just that coochie ain't gonna do it, So hopefully, and I think he made an impact because let me tell you something. You remember how they say that old thing? They even hated Jesus.
Right.
It's the same thing. People hate you for a minute, and then they kind of look back and they start seeing what you stood for. People hated Malcolm X. People, Martin Luther King got hit upside the head with a brick. I mean, he was in jail. Hey, it be like that. So, we just got to keep it real.
All day long. They say everything done how you do it, it'll be exposed. Yeah. Like a lot of times, people don't know who you are until you leave the earth.
Right.
And I wouldn't want to make that lasting
And
impression.
that's why I started this podcast, because I want people to know me before I leave. I'm
But
just ask.
but that's the thing now.
Hey,
People
you
are
hear me?
realizing because you asked, "Oh, did you hear Kevin
Hey, you hear
Samuels?"
me? You hear me? Just ask me. I'm an open book. I'm gonna tell you. You ain't got to be trying to knock me off or none of that old type of stuff. I'm gonna just tell you, man.
Oh,
You
so
know,
none of that is
I,
necessary.
I like him because his non-aggressiveness. He didn't feel like he had to go back and forth and talk about people to get his point across. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
and to make you do something. He
Right,
just put his point of view out there, and whether you grasp it or not, it was up to you. That's what I liked about him.
right.
You know, he was very blunt with the things he said.
Yeah,
Very blunt.
yeah.
No repercussions or concern at all with how he felt, but that's the way he felt, you know.
See, a lot of people hate men like that, and I can say men like me too, because I feel like, men, when they got their own stuff going on, they can't be fired. See, it's somebody right now looking all around, trying to look through, oh, where he work at, I'm gonna get him fired, I'm gonna get him this, I'm gonna get him that. No, 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 man. No, 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 no. I'm just saying, but one thing I don't do, I try not to talk about people and do stuff like that.
That would
But
incriminate yourself.
like I said, rest in peace, Mr. Kevin Samuels. He did leave a legacy. He woke men up. He helped platforms build. And men are actually moving better and different. Men trying to get their bag now, trying to get their money. Men starting to have standards. So ladies are mad
Really?
because some men are having standards. No, you would not
Oh,
marry me.
okay.
I would not get married if you're not doing X, Y, Z. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I think women just thought, oh, I got some good pooty cat. Oh, I'm marriage material. Look how I make this thing jump. Watch me shake this thing all the way to the ground. And I think he proved that just because you know how to twerk and you know how to bounce, up and down without falling over, don't mean that you husband ready. I mean, wife ready. So go ahead, let's get into the topic. I want to say hey to Chris Hopper in the house. What
What's
it
up,
do?
Chris? Hey
What it
there.
do? And what's up, Miss Howard in it?
Hi, Miss Howard.
Yeah. So we're gonna get this thing started, and I just wanted to let everybody know that we, like this here.
Mm.
So
Well, let's
tell us
go.
the topic then. Let's get with it.
The topic for tonight is, can we blame the children for toxic parenting and co-parenting? So either or, if you're parenting or co-parenting, if you're toxic, can we blame the children for the way they behave because of our toxicity of the parenting or co-parenting?
Um,
So we're here to talk about it. We want to see
so you
what's wrong with
saying?
toxic people.
So you saying? Can we blame the mamas and the daddies for the child becoming a gangster?
That part.
Yeah, you can blame them. They don't want to blame. A lot of people don't want to blame. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm sure when I look at everybody and they say, "Oh, and people gonna get mad at me on this," and I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. Let me sit myself up because I know it's gonna get ugly. See, I was gonna say, I watched all these ladies. I go through people profile pictures and all that and stuff like that, and I look at them and I see when they have the bummer picture. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You know when
Obama picture.
yeah, you
Okay.
know when they had that Obama and his
Of
wife,
the family. Oh yeah.
like they want their child, but then they will put that picture up, but they ain't got no man in their household. They children got green, red. I mean, I was watching a child today play on the bike today, and I was like, why did they mama dye their hair green at this age? And I was just saying to myself, why? Why? So
How old did the child look?
exactly what I saw them at, like they belong in the neighborhood.
No,
But
I'm saying like age wise, if they look young or teenager.
about 13.
Um,
Yeah. Just old enough to say, man, can I get some color? And she be like, okay. Okay. But I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? I just feel like we always say we ain't to blame for our kids or how they act, but what about now? What about when we look around and we see that because we done had this not give a fuck attitude in Jackson, that all the kids don't give a fucking killing everybody. Wow, for real? You know that we actually think the kids are acting like this, like we actually was good role models coming up or something. Like you rolling blunts in front of your child and goddamn it, playing all this crazy ass gangster music. And these ladies right now be sitting up here gangstering all down. And as soon as they child kills somebody or somebody get killed on their family, I don't know how it happened. They was such a good no. People tell you all the time that music and other stuff influence your child. Wrong kids around the music, all kind of stuff influence your child. You are the main influence. So how you move, you can't possibly say you ain't got nothing to do with how your child act.
but the thing is, a lot of times we feel like, what we do shouldn't affect our children because we're grown. And we're not thinking at how much they're recording or even our habits on whatever it is we choose.
Like
And
a like a motherfucker. They are watching everything we do. You know what I'm saying? Everything we do.
I
And
know little babies, they copycat.
yeah.
Whatever you do, they want to do what you do.
But think about it. Why you got babies on YouTube that girls are recording? Because I hardly ever see a man recording his child cussing him out or saying
Right.
fuck you and all that stuff. But we see it all the time when it comes to a woman.
Mm-hmm.
Children cussing, little babies twerking. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I mean, hey, but then we want to sit up there and say we no prayer. I don't know what happened to him. I just let him go and he turned out like this. You's a goddamn lie. If you raise a child in a motorcycle gang, most likely he gonna learn how to ride a motorcycle and he gonna want tattoos. I'm
Yeah,
just saying.
right. Yep. At least a little one.
If you raise a poodle in a lion pack, he gonna try to bite you just like he was a lion. He gonna try to eat
It's
you
gonna
up.
rub off on them some type of way.
That's what I'm saying.
So even when we doing bad habits, we think our children will do what you say because you say you do as I tell you, not what I do, and I hear that a lot. Don't you do what I do? You
we
do what I tell you to
we
do.
smoke weed, we smoke cigarettes, we drink, we do a lot of things in front of our kids, and then we expect them to be good. And then we don't even realize when our parents came up, we never seen our parents doing a lot of stuff. They kept a lot of stuff away from us.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to commend our parents for actually trying to keep stuff away from because we don't keep shit away from our children.
Our kids are our best friends now.
Right. They the one past us the blunt now. I remember when I was coming up, right when I knew stuff was starting to go wrong, is when people started giving kids little beer, talking about the kill worm.
Uh-huh.
Start sending their children to light their cigarette for them on the stove and stuff.
They know
I
they
just
gonna
knew
pump
stuff.
it to see
I
if
just
you
knew.
can blow it out
I
your
just
mouth.
knew it was gonna start getting worse. You know what I'm saying? What up, Robert? In his house? Let's catch
Mr.
up.
Jones, what's up?
They've been getting on me by not keeping up with the comments. The parenting.
Okay.
No child can't be blamed for his parents for the parents' faults.
But we say that. Just say for instance, I
What?
have even seen instances where parents have probably instilled in their children good values in life. But in those instances, when the children stray away and probably from peer pressure or what they're dealing with, they divert and go another way. That's
Yeah,
something different.
but this is what I'm gonna say. That comes to me when a child reaches that age range, that 21, 22, where they've been waiting a long time to do what they wanted to do. You you know what I'm saying?
I understand, but now they
So
can do
so
it at
so
15.
so right, that's my problem. I don't care what they do at 21 above.
Right.
But all these children are already smoking cigarettes and already doing a lot of things at 13 and 12, 13. No, man. If let me tell you something. If I had a child and my child came up smelling like smoke, I'd beat the hell out of him. You wouldn't go outside the rest of that year. I would test you every time. I would have drug tests at the house, have you pissing in cups every week. I mean, I'm just saying, because this is, if you want to protect your child, these are the measures that you must go to
Yeah.
protect your child
Yeah,
from.
but you know what? You know, the children know how to say manipulating things, especially to single parents. When the father's not around like that type of thing, they know how to try and get the mother to change her mind. Oh, just let me go. Don't shelter me in. Let me grow up. Things like that. And you're letting them go out there. But there's no way that my 14-year-old kid is going to too often ride off with people that I barely know or even go somewhere and come home at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
And that's something
It's
we need to
children.
start oppressing and making
It's,
a press for
it's children that do that. They go out when they want to and come in when they want to.
when they want to.
Latasha said the parents is the cause for that. Keep it away from the kids. Teach them the right way. And I agree.
What's up, Mr. Bailey? Mr. Jones said, I don't know why they hurt him. He was a happy child, always smiling, but banging, thugging harder than Doughboy and Boys in the Hood. I'm Boys in the Hood. What's up,
What up?
Ursula?
What up, Ursula? I know you ready to get into it. And hello, Miss
Hi, Miss Montgomery.
Lisa.
Bro, my kid's grown now. I still would not drink or party with kids. And I agree.
And,
I
and
don't I don't ever want my son to get comfortable where he can feel like he grown now, he can do all these things in front of me. Still respect me because, you know, I'm mama. You have to set
I
some
remember, I
boundaries.
remember a long time ago when my daddy said, whenever you get ready to drink a beer, you drink your first beer with me or whatever, whatever. We still ain't drunk that beer together. And I've been drunk a many a nights with Well, I mean, it's just something that I ain't never felt the need to do with my daddy. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I
My dad
understand
was
that.
when your daddy was a real daddy. Like I drink with my partners.
Mhm.
I don't need to drink with my daddy. You know
Right. And I agree with you. It's just some levels of respect you just do.
what I'm saying?
Ursula said it was a trickle down effect. Young parents who grew up strict wanted to give their children a little more freedom, or those who had nothing gave their children more than they had. That is so true, and that has been the problem for a lot of single parents. A lot of people. I have even heard somebody say, "My mother didn't let me speak and give me no voice. I'm gonna allow my children to have all the freedom to speak as they will like." And those children start speaking and talking back. They start having, just going down the wrong path
Yeah.
because you gave them that much freedom because you didn't have it.
Got to punch him in the eye. I'm gonna tell you.
That is so
I'm gonna,
true, Ursula.
I'm gonna be so honest. To this day, I just want to be respected as a dad. My child ain't got to like me like that, but I just want to be respected as a dad. I don't want to be respected as a friend. Somebody gonna let you do whatever you want to do, talk to you however you want to talk to you. I don't
Don't be profaning around me.
right. I
No.
don't want to be talking to you like that. I don't want you to call me no bruh. I don't want none of that stuff. I want you to talk to me like a regular person. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But you know, some people feel that, like, for instance, just saying I'm your child and you talking to me, and while you talking to me, you just giving just a normal conversation, but in your conversation you use profanity. After so long or a certain age, that child may feel comfortable enough that I can curse too. My dad know I'm grown, so I don't want you to start cursing. How old you get? Just keep that separation line for me.
Yeah.
Don't start that. You started, it won't
Like,
stop.
like I feel like you can allow it to slip up sometime, but it should be a oops somewhere. It
Right.
should be a my bad. You know what I'm
Uh-huh.
saying?
Right. And I
You
agree.
know, and I understand you grown. You know what I'm saying, but it's still got to
A
be a.
level of
It's
respect.
I'm older now, and I still don't cuss in front of my mama. So I mean, it just it just I I will cuss, but I have to, I got gray and I still be like, oh my bad, but What's up, Miss Chelsea?
Chelsea.
Lord have mercy. Where she come from? She flew in? Okay. No.
Mike said, bruh, water is not drinking. He's just saying.
I don't know how he be getting on me, man. But I'm just saying, man, we just got to. It done came to a point that I think, and I hate to say it like that, but
Come on now. We on hood talk. We got to keep it real so we can get the right message to people. So if there are some things that's happening that's a little toxic, we may be saving somebody's child's life or relationship with their parent,
well, you
not
know what
helping us
I would,
identify if we're
but
toxic or not.
the people we really need to say, the grown ups,
That's what I'm saying. I said we
because
can help someone with their
because
children.
because the grown ups and we know who we are. You know what I'm saying? We've been a
Yep.
bad role model, and
I've been there.
and I can include myself too. We
Yep,
need some
I've been
better
there.
people around here. That's why I'm on hood talk. I'm just keeping it real.
But like me, I have placed my child in that situation where I know I probably was giving him bad ways or habits and things like that on life. So I actually had to go back and talk to this young man and and explain and apologize for my actions if I deterred you and made you go this way, and just set my role on what I want you to do better in, and some things you don't have to do. So after then, hey, I just cleared my way. Ursula said, I wasn't disciplined as a child, but my mom was also at every single event, club, and pageant I was in. Whatever I wanted to do, I did. But the first time she told me no, I rebelled. Sometimes we give our children a false sense of authority for themselves and not teach them they can't have everything they want all the time. Tell me about it. My
Yeah.
son used to have tantrums at 14 years old because I would say no. Yeah, Mike said that colored water you drinking over there looking like strawberry Kool-Aid. My bad for your Kool-Aid.
I know you're talking about.
Miss Washington said the first problem was they made whooping illegal. They took paddling and prayer out of school. Now the children don't have any morals. They don't have any respect. Women don't even wear slips anymore.
And
Don't be calling us out.
I said that one day too. I said they don't. I remember woman had to wear a slip so you couldn't see through her dress
Through her
to
dress.
see her stuff. And now they got see-through bras. They are not only want you to see through the dress, they want you to see through the underwear.
Oh Lord, I remember, when you call yourself being fast, you used to put on the white pants or whatever, you always wore your sexy drawers or something you felt that was cute because you knew that those panty colors would show through those pants. So
So
that was
you
actually being fast.
so you know what? The whole world will turn fast on us overnight. All these women fast. And you know the worst thing that a woman can say that I know that she done lost her way when she mess around and say, "Oh yeah, if I was a hoe, you'll love me. You love them hoes. Y'all love them bad girls. If I was old hoe, yeah, you do whatever, you know." And they're just not true.
Well, actually, it kind of seemed that way. In some stance, there are some guys that I feel they had a good woman. But they wouldn't just do right by their woman. They'll go out here and chase these other girls that was out here kicking it with everybody else. So I'm just thinking like you got a good thing at home, but why you out here doing this type of stuff? So people got that perspective from experience of some men that
Okay,
were actually doing things like
guess
this.
what? And I'm gonna throw something to you that'll show you why men did things a certain way because women do stuff a certain way too. You know, it's women out there, and y'all know who y'all are. I ain't got to call y'all out.
You
It's
don't need to.
these women out there that that will mess around and they will have a threesome with a stranger, but they wouldn't do a threesome with their man because it's something in their morals that say, I don't want my man to be done. I'm not sharing him, but I go out here and make some other man pot eye. You know what I'm saying? And it's women out there that got that kind of mind state. And I done heard them all over the world.
Oh wow.
You know?
Well, I guess it comes with your desires or your morals.
Yeah, it's
Some
like,
people have a high sex drive where those type of things will enthuse them, and that's
but
what they like.
this what they want. They don't want they man to have it, but they'll go out here and have it with a stranger and somebody.
That's part of their little drive.
Uh-oh. That rehearsed.
Ursula said, "Now with my kids, the deal was, I was your parent first, but I also see the environment for them to come, discuss anything and everything they need or want to know about because I didn't have that outlet. And once they became a full adult with a family, they still come to me because I still have a safe space for them. And that's good. You should.
Yeah.
You should keep that safe space. And then don't be biased with it. Don't go taking sides, Ursula. Listen to both sides. Mike said laws may change, but being a parent remains the same. As a parent, you can't wear two hats, can't be a friend with a child. And that's so true.
Right.
Herschel said, plus, I was always honest with them when they asked me about who and how I was growing up because they may be going through a similar situation or may be able to relate and offer sensible advice or a warning of possible dangers. That's all we can do. That's all we can do. We can talk about some of the things we've been through to try and head off these kids and going in our direction. But a lot of times these children feel like I already know. I'm like, dude, you hadn't been here but 12 years and you already know. Oh, okay.
Okay. Uh-oh. I just want you to read the topic line, then we gonna discuss
Right there.
it. Yeah.
Okay. They expect their kids to agree with them about practically everything.
Um,
Mm.
um.
Okay.
What you think about that one?
Well, I agree. Some parents don't allow their children to have no sense of expression on how they feel. Some parents do that. It's my way, no way. And I'm kind of one because my father was military dad, and dad says, "What I say goes, and don't ask me why." So
Hmm.
we never asked why. What daddy said go. But I felt like he wasn't doing anything to put us in harm's way. He was setting his standards, like what I say, don't question what I told you, type of thing. Ursula said, I would never take sides. I'm not one of those parents who said what my child wouldn't do. I know their mama and daddy, and we were both healed. I feel you. That's a lot of things. People don't know what their child would do. You think you know them like that, but you really don't.
Right.
Just like coming up, in the sense of expressing, like they expect their kids to agree, just like church. Coming up, we had to go to church
Right.
3, 4 times a week.
He was made to go to
We were
church.
made to go. It was not an option that we would get to stay home.
Right.
Forget you got class the next morning, revival. We were going, we went to church. So that's one of the things that my parents instilled. They made us go to church. So I don't think that it hurt me. It molded me into a situation, but it is what it is. Mike said it's the same game of life, just the player of the game changes. Okay, I
And
guess.
I think one thing about that is we made our children eat the bad food, drink the Kool-Aid with all the sugar. You know what I'm saying? And I
But
think
but but in those times, healthy eating and things wasn't so. It wasn't implemented. People really fed their children to survive. It was cheaper to buy hot dogs and feed the family than go and buy something healthy or less,
so.
or more expensive.
So
They had to
I'm gonna
see
ask
how
you.
they can afford.
I'm gonna ask you that this then. When have we treated our kids to healthy food? What year that we made it a priority to start feeding our children healthy food?
Hey, this probably happened in the 20th century.
I'm just saying, have you known a year where they said always been a big change, everybody eating
Well,
healthy?
let me tell you when the change started coming, when Michelle Obama, they were in office, President Obama, they started implementing healthy eating and actually encouraging people to be a part of the diagram of the USDA healthy living. They start taking fried food out of the school. They oven bake everything in public schools now.
Yeah.
So they tried on that level, but it still was just chicken that was oven fried. It wasn't dropped in oil.
Yeah. But then now what? That's what I be looking at now.
But do you realize? Okay, just tell me
You know
this.
what they need to do? They need to buy all these commercials, the unhealthy commercials. We get, you know
Piece
what?
of commercials. They need
We
to
don't,
take all of those off of
we don't
television.
all these alcohol commercials. And it's more alcohol commercials and cigarette commercials.
But
Well,
what time do
I
they
don't even
come
know
on?
about cigarette commercials because I ain't even seen a cigarette
I
commercial.
haven't seen a cigarette
But
commercial.
it showed a bunch of alcohol commercials. And look, every movie somebody smoking a cigarette or drinking. We're gonna have one movie that ain't nobody drinking or smoking a cigarette in that thing.
Hmm. Not too often, because I've even saw an ancient movie, like a stance of something being ancient back in the day type of thing,
Right.
with priest, you know,
Yeah.
and they even one of them even had a drink. I'm like, oh
Yeah.
wow.
Old drunken master. Oh, okay, I was just saying.
But it's cheaper to eat like you want than if you try and impose healthy eating. It is very expensive, and some people can afford that for an entire household. You know.
And Jeff Jones right on that one. No, read that.
Jeff said, if you don't teach them when they're young, then you're fighting an uphill battle, and that's true.
Right. And we got to do more like Martin Lawrence said back in there. He opened the wound, said, "Don't you come out here starting no shit." We got to get back to that part of it. Oh yeah.
Yep, I agree. Ursula said, I did allow my child to ask questions. That allowed them to be able to stand up for what they felt was right in instance of someone else being hurt or mistreated and be a voice for the voiceless. It worked for us, but I know it may not work for others. I define what a parent-child friendship with us would look like. Okay.
And I think a lot of times like I think the people we're around, you know what I'm saying? Like I remember when I grew up, the street, it wasn't a it wasn't a bad street. You know, you always had a couple of bad dudes in the neighborhood, this and that. And your mama say, stay away from him. I bet not see you hang with him. Bet not see
I
you.
don't cross that street that way.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
but I still think, like I say, if it's in you a little bit, you will search it, find it out, especially if you got too much time. And I think that's what the biggest thing about a two-parent household. Somebody's pretty much always somewhere around to take up the slack when the other person's not there.
Yeah.
Somebody able to watch over you and be like, yeah, I made sure they made it home. I made sure they, because when I notice a two-parent household, I notice a difference in how the kids are raised.
Yeah. It
You
makes a difference.
know, because I feel like mine, it was structured for a minute. Then once Pop moved out about 5 years old, and then Mama working so much, so now you spending a lot of time outside with your people and partners and this and that, and half the time I was getting thrown at the house, telling me if I come in the house that I couldn't go back out the house. So half the time my mental was I'm staying out as long as I could, however as long as I could. And I think sometimes we don't even realize how stuff like that could affect us in a way too.
That's true.
Forced to stay outside around the elements.
Yeah, when we don't know, they used to say, stay in or out,
Right.
you know?
Don't realize the reason you were coming in because of the bad, and now you got to go out there with them, or you can't. It just is kind of because you're trying to find something to do, and eventually you will get bored out there. You will get bored. So now I can understand why some people, but sometimes inside they house more dangerous when you got them playing these old dangerous games, shooting these jokers in the head and things.
I know, and carjacking.
How to be a whole killer and don't even know it.
Okay.
You gonna mess around and make your child mad, and you gonna be wondering why he's standing over you like Chucky. ready to kill your ass because you thought it was okay.
Okay.
I'm just saying that.
Mike said, I went to church every day on Sunday from sun up to sundown. Now that was child abuse. Telling about sin and sex was bad. Shoo. The joy I received from sin and sex, Lord knows my heart is good. Oh my goodness. Look, you train up the child in the way they should go. If they're old and depart, maybe they won't stray too far. So you doing bad. So that's why you saying the Lord know your heart good. See there? He's talking about he met the midget today. She was fine too, them little legs long. Oh Lord. I don't know. If I was a man, I think I'd be afraid to touch a midget because I'll be putting in the mind of a child. Because she's so little, I'd be thinking as a child.
I don't know. I guess because I'm, I guess I got to look at it different because I'm like 6'3". I look at everybody like they children. I be like, I be looking- so I don't know what to say about that one.
Well, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Ursula said it does set a foundation with both parents in the home. Then when we divorced, we were still a parental team. My kids thought they could try us, but quickly realized that mom and daddy still talked and made decisions together. They never tried that at either of us again.
And I'm gonna tell. I'm gonna,
That's a good thing. Because even if there has been some kids in the household, they'll play mom and dad against each other just to get an answer that they want.
yeah, kids are good at that. I
Mhm.
mean, I I went through it at a younger age, but I guess it felt like it felt like I don't know. It felt like I don't feel like my my baby mama was always against me. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Because I can say one thing. A lot of things that men go through, I didn't go through because whenever I wanted my child, I went and got my child.
Mhm.
So I can't say that I was ever
Deprived of that.
deprived, but that like at an early age, 1, 2, 3 years old, I remember her trying to use the child. If you don't do this, you can't see the child, this and that. But after we got through them little years right there, the first, 3, 4 years, I came and got my child as I pleased. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I just went and got my child and took her walking through the neighborhood,
Mhm.
stuff like that. And just to really kind of say, them are the bad guys right there. Don't be on this street. Don't be on, I mean, so I guess.
Well, it was actually probably an instance to remind the child too that you were there as well as the mom. That was just part of you being in her life. Maybe if y'all didn't live in the same household, just taking out those little times, with your child, it probably was a great impact on the baby too,
Yeah,
that daddy is actually in the picture. Some people don't even want that little time
yeah.
in a day.
And just like a lot of, I mean, you see, I don't even see how, you know, I don't even see how some dads can have children where they don't go see them. I can see if the child didn't want to see them, but I can't see these children that want to see their dad and their daddy not showing up and not coming and what I'm saying, telling them they'll be there and
And don't come.
don't come
That's
and stuff
terrible.
like that. I mean, when I see stuff like that, I was like, because I'm gonna tell you, I knew my pop was dedicated because my pop at one time was traveling all the way from Arkansas to come back and see me every weekend, during his weekend, see me. So, you don't think about the sacrifices somebody else did to you. Sit back and you actually think about it and be like, dang, he rode all the way from Arkansas every weekend. You know what I'm saying? He made sure he kept him a house down here so he could drive all the way down here almost every weekend, 2, 3 hours. I don't know how long it was, but now you
It's
think about
longer than 2 3 hours, Arkansas.
when you think about where Arkansas was, and it
Cause
was
Memphis is what, 3 hours to
nah, it was
to
Little Rock, Arkansas, and I wonder how long that is, but
that's about 5 hours, isn't it?
because yeah, one time when I was running from the police, I ran up to Little Rock, Arkansas. All right,
There you go.
there it is. Okay, we will get.
Mike said, "What will get you an ass in my house is when I was married. Whatever Mama said went, and whatever I said went. Period." Oh, he's saying as whooping.
Yeah.
You don't go and play each other.
Yeah.
That's right. You should have kept those grounds.
Mhm. And I
Can
think
I go? My
I think
daddy said I can go.
but see, I'm gonna tell you what done messed up now. It's the point that don't nobody want to be the one that touch the child and make the child mad at them.
Uh-huh.
And daddy don't want to whoop the child because he don't want the child mad at him because he barely get to see the child.
Mm-hmm.
And mama don't want to whoop the child because she want to be loved more than the daddy. You feel what I'm saying?
But no, I use daddy as a weapon.
No,
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 I understand what you're saying in the
but that's
house,
what
and
I'm
they
saying.
use it.
You know, if you treat daddy like he the bad guy, like he the person gonna whoop you, then she looked at it the nice person that
No, because if I'm involved too, if I'm calling your daddy, I'm calling your daddy on you. Calling your daddy on you. Know
who
you
they
don't want
who
daddy
they
to come.
who
So
they
that was
scared
my
of though.
only little weapon.
But who they scared of though?
Daddy.
Thank you. They're not scared of mommy. So they're
But they
rather
know not to try,
who
mommy.
okay, let me tell you something. Who would you rather hang out with if you're not scared of?
The mama.
Thank you. So that's what I'm saying. The kind of thing that's going in that's being put into this child
But
head.
no, but that's how you are seeing it. But in my instance, I think that the daddy being there as the disciplinary, he's more the manly thing. Like you're supposed to be the stronghold. Like you don't want your daddy involved because what daddy's giving me may hurt, hurt a little more than mom giving me.
But it's
But I don't think that that'll make the child hate the parent or don't want to hang with the parent because
okay.
the parent discipline them.
I'm gonna do this then. Two hands in front of a child. Child look at both hands. One child hit him. One hand hit him. The other hand stayed the same. One hand hit him. Which way is the child gonna move? Closer to the hand that's not hitting him.
Okay, your whole scenario does not match with
Well, tell me
child.
what you think. Tell me what you would think if somebody whooping on you.
But
Which
listen,
one would you?
but this is the thing. If that's the only thing that the parent did was discipline the child, then yes, of course. But opposed to just discipline the child, the father still spent time with the child. They went places, so there was a relationship built. It's just that when the child get out of line, they have to come in and straighten this stuff up.
He's,
You know,
I understand. I understand that. And I understand that the man discipline. But it's still gonna make the child like the mother better than the daddy. All the time. Man. Yeah, you done had daddies work all their lives to get a child everything that child wanted. And when that child graduated, from what's not say him, he was together with his mama 17 years, they divorced. And he go to graduation or he go whatever, the first thing they say, yes, I couldn't have did it without my mama and this and that and that and that. And daddy sometimes be left out of certain things. And you
well,
done seen speeches. Have you ever seen a speech where a child said, "Oh, to all goes my daddy"?
very few, very few, very few. Because you can't blame it on the mother for being there for the child. So if the daddy really wasn't there, they give honor to where honor is due.
No, that ain't the scenario I put out there.
Well, I understand, but I'm
You
just saying.
changed the whole scenario. You
No,
said if
no,
the
I
man,
did.
I
I
gave
did
a scenario that he was there until I said he can be there 17 years, and they divorced. And the 18 year he get ready to graduate, that he gonna get all on to the mama, even though the daddy probably put him through school and paid and
like I said, if the daddy was in the child life, I just don't see why the daddy wouldn't acknowledge the dad too. Acknowledge the dad, even if the mom and the father, mom and dad weren't together. I don't see that a child in that situation would just go and just wipe his dad out like his daddy didn't do anything.
I just said not say nothing about it, dad, like that.
Well, I just can't. I can't
only
see a young man doing
even
it.
when I look at a couple of dudes that made to the NBA and stuff like that. Every now and then you get a couple like I like the dude Chris Paul and who the other one? The
Steph
new
Curry.
dude now Steph Curry went against his dad the other day when him and his mama got divorced.
No, we sang in the beginning. When he first went in there, he acknowledged his daddy.
I understand what you're saying, but when it all was said and done, he turned on Pop at the end. So I mean, I understand, but I think ladies have a little more leg way with the child than pops.
Why? Because her love be unconditional, she don't leave like that, or what?
I think with men have a lot more discipline, disciplinary in them, and I think like a man, he'll come up to his child and say, "Hey, boy, we'll fight. I beat you like a man in this motherfucker." No, I'm just saying, like, men will come at a child like that. And I think sometimes it's a shocker that, but see, they not thinking about their mama doing something like this to them, especially when they get a certain age. You know what I'm saying? Like once a child once a boy make it beyond 13, 14, and he pretty big or whatever, he don't think mama would try to go upside his head. But daddy would try his ass at any age. Would kill him.
I don't know, some rough mamas out here be boxing their kids.
Hey, daddy would try him at any age. Daddy said, I bought a pistol just because of this left hook ain't hitting like it used to. You
in case he got to shoot you in the pinky toe.
Might have to do you. I mean, that's just how it is, though.
Ursula said, I drove 5 hours for parent-teacher conference, plays, games, doctor appointments, whatever. Even when they acted up in school, I was actually involved, and my kids would rather the school call dad than call me, even though I'm 5 hours away. Administration quickly found out why when they talked to me.
Mm. Yeah. And then that's why when I come back, I have so much respect for mama and daddy, and try to put it in both scenarios, because I understand. My mama raised me and put food up, but my daddy did more like taught me. You know what I'm saying?
And without being in the exact same home, so it can be done.
Right.
And you still was bad, so I don't think it mattered. Mike said, bruh, I didn't play with my mama. Shit, nigga, she didn't play with nobody.
Well, mine was a little tomboy too. She didn't play either. My whole neighborhood knew about my mama.
My mom was so quiet and gentle. If she ever had to get you, it was over with. She whipped as hard as daddy.
Look, they used to call my mama the exercise lady. Because she used to, how the women used to have the weights, with the weights around the leg and all that stuff, walking around the neighborhood. That's what she used to do. Okay, what else you got for me?
We was talking about your little list or whatever.
Oh
You
yeah,
were saying that they expect their kids to agree with them about everything.
right, right. Now I'm gonna put this one out here. Now what does that actually mean?
They don't see their children as autonomous individuals, like people that make their own decisions,
Okay.
make decisions for themselves. Like, I'm directing you this way. This is how I want you to go.
Don't believe in children privacy. Now, I don't really believe too tough on children privacy.
You gotta see what these kids doing these days.
Because Joker done be done brung some drugs and guns in the house. Shit. That's how them people of other races be having whole bomb makers in their house and stuff.
I know. Have you ever tried to bring something in your house that you weren't supposed to have?
Yeah, and it was found out quickly.
Because they pay, that's a
Oh,
parent that pay
oh, I
attention.
even knew it. They discipline out of anger or fear.
Uh,
They often more judgmental of their own kids than anyone else. Mm.
oh wow. I've seen that in people being a little toxic on supposed to be their own. They will praise the other children around everybody else but their own, like they were doing it on purpose.
And
And the person's quote to me was, "I'm just doing this to build them up. I'm building them up by complimenting everybody." That was not. That was to hurt that person.
now we gonna do it.
Oh shit, not good.
Now we this last one. Then we're gonna. I want you to read this, and we're gonna discuss this.
They want their children to follow in their footsteps or live out their unfulfilled dreams.
Ooh, ooh, ooh. Okay. Yeah, you can have a lot of people like that, and just like we was talking before the show, and you was asking me, do I felt like I was toxic, and I felt like I gave my child a lot of freeway, a little bit. So I
Meaning what? When you say freeway,
yeah, I never really even thought about my child following in my footsteps because, like, I had her working there one time to get her work ethic. You know what I'm saying? And then as soon as she got her work ethic and she wanted to make her own money, I was like, go ahead. Like, I want to give me a job. Go ahead. You got to work for me. You know what I'm saying?
hmm
And she went out there and she did her own thing. She, doing her own thing. I ain't never asked her to work again for me. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it just, I remember when she probably wanted a little side money and she worked with me a little bit. But other than that, I mean, I know my dreams are my dreams. So,
hmm
I try not to, do it like that.
So you don't try and enforce your way or your entrepreneurship onto your child
No.
because this is the road you chose.
Now, because I know some people just need a paycheck. Some people ain't got this kind of drive. I mean, this kind of thing I do because one thing I realized, some people like going to work, getting a check, getting off, having their free time to do whatever else they want to do, having their weekends off, this and that. I don't have that luxury. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what I'm doing from day to day. So I don't, what somebody else can do, I know I can't do it. And it ain't what I want to do because other things that people got to do, I don't have to do. I don't have to be somewhere at 6 every morning, 5 every morning.
You don't have to clock in.
You know, so it's that part. I might have to be up early in the morning to go do something, but it ain't like I'm gonna get fired if I don't make it. You know what I'm saying? Did you read that?
No. Ursula said I was the parent that would beat the brakes off of them and cuss them out. Dad would be the one to ground them and take all their gaming system.
Oh, that's worse. That's
Like
worse.
it's something that they love.
Yeah, taking the game system.
I know one year my son tried to act up. I took him out of all sports for an entire year. He got it together. Because if I didn't, he probably wouldn't have graduated high school at the time. Yeah. Ursula said, if you're under my roof and in my bank account, you had no privacy. Be private where you live and pay rent or mortgage.
There
So,
you
that part,
go. I can get on that one.
I know, right?
I couldn't roll with that one. I seen that one.
All right, and don't be in there with your door locked. You can close it, because you're
Right.
a man. You can close your door,
Right.
but don't be in there with no door locked. Don't lock no
Like
door.
I know my child.
I would knock before I
Yeah.
come in, but don't lock no doors around here.
Yeah. You're right.
Person said, I wanted my kids to follow their passion, but I definitely asked enough questions and presented them with as much information so they can be sure this is what they wanted, but also have a backup. But please don't think your mom and dad want you to be a clone of us. Be better. And that's what I want. I want my child to be better, make better decisions early in life than I did. And I don't want him to repeat after me and do some of the things I done or learned late in life. I try to instill and teach him these things early. So you won't be hitting brick walls like I did at a younger age. Well, younger adult age.
Yeah. I agree with that. I mean, yeah, I agree. I agree. It just sometimes you got to, how it is.
Yep.
Yeah.
Ursula said removing the games, excuse me. Ursula said removing the games didn't hurt as bad as Mama being disappointed. Those are their words that each gave in speeches. We thought it was funny. So they were more concerned about you being disappointed in them than their gaming system.
Okay.
But I think that, in any situation, I think the kids should be allowed to ask questions and to express how they feel honestly. A lot of times, especially kids that have to witness their parents being separated or divorced, you don't talk about it. You don't tell them, and you give one side. Oh, your daddy was this, he did this. Oh, your mama was that, she did this. You don't even have to go in depth as to what actually happened, but express. Like it's not gonna work. We have different views or something. You don't have to go into detail, but at least let them talk about how it affect them or how they feel about it. Or what can be done to make them okay that their parents aren't going to be together anymore. Because seeing that type of divorce thing, that can probably put some type of separation in the child for their future life. I don't want to go and get a divorce like my parents did. I don't want it. Then time the woman start acting the way mama said daddy did or daddy said mommy did, they're going to feel like, oh, it's going to lead to what my parents went through. So be cautious of that.
Yeah, I agree. We got to know. We got to know.
Yeah.
What else you got for me?
Yep. Don't withhold love in any form of punishment. Always show love and affection to your kids. I didn't say be all soft and sentimental with every guy or every girl. At least let them know you do care about them. I wonder how many parents, express to their child that they love them. Do you and your mom say you love each other?
Yeah.
What about you and your father?
Yeah, we probably just started doing that probably the last couple of years.
Hmm.
But all while I was growing up, nah, we didn't do none of that. We ain't do the lovey-dovey stuff. So I was brung up under Army, man. So it was more of it was different.
I know. I did too. My father was in the army, and daddy, I
I
don't
think a lot
recall.
of our parents was in the Army, or because I just had Army and preachers in my family. So
And you wouldn't even see that. Talking to you, what? You did
there's
what?
a bunch of preachers in the family because they swore down. They would tell me, "You're gonna be a preacher." I was like, I can't see it
Well, maybe you won't be in a church setting. Maybe your calling will be in the hood.
He cold.
because
She
I
belongs to
belong
the
to the
streets.
street. Okay, my bad.
Oh, you do? Oh, dang.
No, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
It just I guess to me, um I'm the type of person that I wouldn't want to go into nothing if I couldn't go all the way into it.
What you mean?
Like being a preacher or something like that, you have to be all the way into it. And I guess like with me, uh even when I had a thought of that, when I really dove all the way into religion, I just couldn't get it all. It did, everything didn't make sense.
But you know, a lot of people, when they go into religion, they downplay on what they've learned from religion into what they discovered. So they hold what they've been taught all these years against people, and that's the only thing that they can henpeck. Oh, this isn't true. This isn't true. So the first thing they want to talk about is Jesus. So hey, it is what it is because I was one. I was brought up in church all my life. Like I said, we used to go to church all the time. Like Mike said earlier, sun up to sundown on Sunday, our entire day was church. We'll come home for about a couple of hours, we're back. And we even have like night Sunday school type of service. And then in a service as if we had worship service in the daytime, it just be at night. So it'd be late. It'd be all day. So my thing was just studying to understand other people around me because I was involved in other cultures and not understanding like why they believe how they believe. So that's what made me study into religion, just to see so I can get an understanding of things.
Yeah.
um,
And it made me do the same thing, but I think I was one of the people that kind of got the opposite because like I say, when I dig in something, I dig all the way. So I dig a little too far, and I found stuff that I was like,
nah, 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 nah. Oh, that's not what you're saying. Oh.
and I was like, yeah, and then I started listening to professors and scientists, and I got into everything, and it didn't add up. So I just when 4 + 4 equal 15, I just leave it alone. So I just once I couldn't make, like I'm gonna go this way with it. Religion is considered a belief.
Right.
It's not considered an actual truth or a fact.
Right.
So I guess with me, I'm the type of person that I kind of live this world now and trying to dwell in straight facts and what's going on right in front of me. Stuff that I can see, and And when I think about, God or something like that, I think about everything because I know the ants are here to soften up the ground so the ground would, you know, be able to plant and stuff like that. The bees are here to pollen, you know, it's so much stuff. You got the trees that turn the carbon dioxide into oxygen. We turn oxygen into carbon dioxide for the trees. Everything is for
So
everything.
tell me this: why are rats here?
Huh?
Why are rats, mice, rats? Why are they here?
I don't know, cause India they like a religion thing. They don't even kill them over there or somewhere over there. They
I
don't
thought
even
they
kill
cooked them.
them. No. You in China.
Oh,
You in China. No, I'm talking India. There's a whole different culture. See, some of them just like monk temples. They don't even believe in killing any bugs like crickets. Nothing. They used to didn't believe in killing anything. So, like, I got into like I wanted to go study monk. Believe it or not, at one time I wanted to go across there and study in the temple karate and stuff when I was in the karate life. So
yeah. But you know, now they even have monk temples in United States.
yeah.
Hmm.
You read that one?
No. Ursula said, I agree. Let them develop their voice because it teaches them self confidence and self esteem. That helps develop the leader in them. My mom's side of the family, we don't do that. My dad's side, I love you each other to death. My kids get the constant I love you, but I also speak their individual love language. It better not be money. Urgent said, yep, YPWW, Sunday school, Sunday night service, Bible study. We need Wednesday night rehearsals, midweek revival, you name it. I was sick of church. Personally, I was too. I said, when I got old, I'm not going back to church. Because we be there on time where you hear willing workers are needed. I'm like, oh my goodness. But anyway, Ursula said, right now, I don't follow religion. I do, however, believe in relationship. I serve the relationship with the creator, relationship with people, and understand that we all serve a purpose in each other's lives.
Right. I agree. I agree with that. I mean, you know,
Well, if you at least have a relationship with God, that's a plus. Some people has turned away because of things like how you were reared and say no God, type of thing. But there
and
has to be a supernatural being,
I'm gonna tell you one thing that I know that is crazy when you be thinking about God and things like that. You ever notice when you talking about something, then they call, or you talk about somebody and they show up, you be like, what? You know what I'm saying? Like it be certain things. Like even when I had a car accident a long time ago, flipped the car, or whatever, and I came out with no scratches or whatever. And you say he keeping me here for some reason. You know what I'm saying?
yep.
I've been shot a couple times,
He's
stabbed a
not
couple
finished with you yet. You have a
times.
purpose driven life.
Right. So what I'm doing now is I try to do the same thing, try to make sure that I feel like I'm doing the right thing and, trying to be here like a purpose. You know what I'm saying?
So I'm just thinking like if you left here today, what type of life legacy would you leave for people to understand or know you as? So I try and work on those type of purposes and goals. Not to serve everybody, but live my life according to God's will type of thing, and be cordial to people. I don't want to leave a stain, a blood stain. I ruined somebody's life because of something I've done or said.
Mhm.
I try and make amends. That type of stuff give you a peace, a peace of mind to just live normally. I almost like the saying, treat people like you want to be treated type of thing. But some people push that point and you have to treat them with a long handled spoon type of thing. But still, I still work on trying to be kind to people. Jeff says everyone follows religion. It's either a belief in self or belief in something bigger than self.
Yeah. Well, and then I can say,
You just don't have a title for yours.
but you know what? I think mine are more probably in the spiritual realm. Like how they say spirituality,
Hmm.
kind of like more because like my religion, not religion, but me is not
Well,
in
no, think about what Jeff just said. Define religion.
yeah,
When
some
you think about religion, is that you have a belief into somebody that's higher than you and what you do. You said you believe in God. So
but I'm
you
saying
just don't have a religion to
that's not the actual definition of religion though.
well
Now,
look it
I'm
up.
just saying I don't want to get it confused, the definition of religion and what let me see. That's why I said let me see. Definition of religion. Okay. Now let's do it. Why yeah. All right. See.
Okay.
So religion is more of the belief in the worship of a superhuman controlling power, especially a personal god or gods.
Right.
Ideas
But
of
you just don't have a religion type.
twins.
You don't have a classification for your religion. That's all. But you have one. You believe in God or a God.
I look and I believe cause yeah, cause okay, it's like anything. Somebody had to make everything.
Right.
Somebody had to make something.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I believe in a way that, just like man is God in a way because we steady creating stuff. We steady making clones and all kind of stuff. So, I mean, we can say we ain't religion, but we steady, making babies. What's the name?
Right.
What we call religion, what we call God is the worship really of our own selves because like they say, we'll sit up there and say we worship Jesus because he walked on water and fed people like whoop de whoop. But then I can at this day, if we went to some island that don't know nothing about what's the name and the technology we got now, and we be still hoverboarding around and our little
They would
surfboard.
think we are some supernatural God
Right,
or serving some type of
right.
witchcraft. They would think that when they don't have any knowledge
Yeah,
of it. So I understand what you're saying.
yeah.
So you have a deity.
Mhm.
You do have a God and you believe in God. So I would
Did
say,
you
yeah, you do have
did
religion.
you read them?
Archer said, I live a life of love, compassion, forgiveness, and transparency. I'm learning to forgive a lot more than I used to. I used to hold grudges and never talk about it, but it used to eat me up inside. And, that can be a wear and tear on your heart. So I start letting things go. So I don't hold grudges anymore. I try to come to an end and end it. Ursula said that spiritually. Religion is more of a structure of guidance, but I will Google it and post it for you. Okay, yeah. We just looked and Googled it.
Yeah.
So what is your take? So you are part of religion, you believe in God. So there's nothing wrong with having
Yeah.
religion. A lot of people just don't put a classification on it or
Right,
as they say a
right,
denomination
right,
because there are a lot of Christians with denominations. There are a lot of classification of religion. So I think the well-being of the supernatural God is fine enough. We're not atheists around here.
Supernatural or are we gods or whatever, But how they say,
Because we are little gods. You don't believe that?
somebody had to come first.
I know, right?
Somebody had to.
And we're not sure if it was a chicken.
It had to be the first man somewhere, somehow. Right. You just didn't show up and all of a sudden it was men all over the place. It had to have been something. So to say somebody, everybody had to believe in something.
Yep.
Even if we don't even want to make it known, it got to be, it don't have to be superhuman where they busting through bricks and stuff like that. But I mean, everybody came from somewhere.
Right.
We shoot bullets across the way and kill a joker. It used to then be like that.
They used to use
But then again, it might
use a different
it might have was, and now we done caught back up and we ready to destroy the world again.
I don't know if they had the knowledge of ARs then, baby. That's what's taking over. A 9 is a BB gun compared to the guns they have now.
They had airplanes way back. They got little things.
I saw that.
Strips.
Yeah, they used to have like landing strips. I saw that.
Up in snow at the North Pole or somewhere close up that way.
I saw it on National Geographic. Actually, this past weekend, I saw that.
Yeah. Because, see, I think UFOs ain't nothing but us came from another planet, made it here and called it home.
So we didn't come on a boat. We came on airplane.
They're going to snatch somebody out of one of them UFOs and they're going to look just like us.
Oh, Mr. Know-it-all, you made
What that make us? What that make us? We are all UFOs. Guess what we are when we go to Mars?
No, what's the name?
We go to Mars and the moon. What we are? UFOs today.
No. What's the name that the president during Hurricane Katrina? That was Bush, right? George Bush, the junior son.
What about him?
Well, he called the people the inmates and people that were displaced in New Orleans. We call them refugees.
Yeah, that was
Hurricane Katrina in 2005. That's what they're gonna call you when other UFOs start landing. They were like, "Oh, the refugees."
No,
is that what he called them? Refugees.
Don't be coming here talking about starting a business. I mean, y'all better go back home. We got enough people on our planet.
We got enough people in this.
No, they said, look,
get better benefits.
Look, they probably come to our planet and see all the gun violence and everything. They're crazy. We're not going to Earth. They call it Earth. We're not going there. They're crazy.
I wonder if they talking that talk for real.
One day we're gonna find one of them long. You know how they be talking about how stuff here can travel through space so many miles and all that. It's somebody listening to us right now talking about I ain't going now. Uh-oh.
Look, Jeff said, let me ask a question. How did we get here? It's more logical to believe in God than to believe the things that happen from nothing. Yeah, God with the big G.
Yeah, they be talking about we just happened with some molecules and all that, and then we just was just like a frog. Still, a frog make a tadpole. He still came from some.
Right. He was a little thing floating in water before.
And guess what? Jellyfishes live forever. Where they come from? How they do this?
Why couldn't have been born a jellyfish?
I want to talk to a jellyfish.
But listen. One time one of my brothers were in the Marines, and one of the souvenirs he brought home was a jellyfish. That was, and you know how they used to make those little glass things and frame it where it holds it into shape type of thing. So it was actually jellyfish. So that is a myth because that jellyfish was dead.
No. But jellyfish,
No, I'm just saying.
that was
If they
look,
don't kill them.
he didn't know how to feed the jellyfish. Jellyfish eat pretty good. I ain't say they can live without food.
No. I'm not saying it was actually alive. It was made into a souvenir.
Oh, okay.
It was killed, I guess.
Yeah.
And it was framed and made into this little ornament thing.
Because if you look up jellyfish, it'll tell you that they can rejuvenate themselves, so they don't never die.
I heard that. I heard that before.
That's why I say I just want to learn how to talk to a jellyfish, and I'm gonna get the backlog whatever happens. I'm gonna be talking to a jellyfish. Hey, jellyfish, you believe in Jesus? Do you believe it? No, I'm just I'm gonna be asking him so many questions. Hey, when did it flood? Did it ever flood? Is that a myth? Did it flood, or was it just
so when Noah was putting people in the ark, did he have to take 2 fish out the water too and put it on the boat, or what?
They say the real ark wasn't but like 8 foot long.
I just asked.
I'm just saying I was like they had it in the museum what's supposed to be the real ark.
I'm telling you, one day in my Sunday school class when they were teaching us about Noah's Ark, right? No. So I asked the teacher, I was like, so he was taking 2 of everything and put them on the boat, So I guess it was a male and female, maybe to reproduce later. So I said, so did he have to take the fish out the sea, alligators and things like that? She sent me to my mommy.
Don't nobody want them hard questions.
Like, what are your mommy? She sent me to my mommy.
Because guess what? Because that makes sense. If everything flooding, the alligators and the fish, they ain't worried about it.
Yeah, they live in the water. So I was asking, did he have to put 2 fish on the boat too? So he had to get 2 of every kind of fish. Don't you know it's like a lot of fish in the sea?
Yeah, you asked great.
I got kicked out of class Sunday school.
You asked a great question. I wish I could ask one that good. Cause you really made me think of some more stuff to say when somebody started talking about the boat again. I'm be like, what about the fish? She said, good grief.
And they can't tell. They can't see curious children. They were like, oh, go to your mommy. Nope.
And then you know what? What makes it so glad? I remember when they used to sing that, I knew it was blood. I used to ask them, this blood for real, y'all? They had to convince me that
they weren't drinking blood. That's what I asked. I asked that question too. Like, if you're drinking blood, why can't
guess what happened then? Guess what happened then? Then when they told me what it supposed to be, and I said, y'all feeding us wine? Y'all.
But that's what they told us.
And then they started feeding us grape juice.
They told us as kids, they weren't giving children the blood. And I was like, why are y'all drinking blood in church?
Right. Is y'all vampires? See, that's what people don't want. They don't want us to get real, inquisitive.
That was some Wild Irish Rose. There wasn't no blood. Jeff said, I promise you, God is real. I can't tell how I know, but thing is that I know and probably still go to hell if I die now. But if I can tell anybody one thing, it is he's real. I agree with you, Jeff. I know that God is real. He showed me every day that I wake up, because it's some people don't wake up. We were just giving a shout out, rest in peace to Mr. Kevin Samuels on the passing of his life. I'm sure when he went to sleep or whatever he was doing that night, he did not think that this would be my last time. Yeah, I heard he died on top of her like Color Purple.
Nah, I don't know. I don't know. Well, it did
I've been saying all type of things.
It did say something about that that he died and she was trying to revive him or something, and she was like, all of a sudden she just happened to be a nurse. That sound like he been assassinated.
That's what I was saying when they said she was a nurse, and then she
When
was
I heard nurse,
race.
all I could think of, she knew exactly what to put that needle on it.
Well, she was from another race. She probably was sent to do her thing. Ursula said, honestly, they can't stand a curious adult either. Because they didn't know the answer. That's why I got kicked out.
Right. A lot of people don't know the answers to some of this stuff. You know how that is.
Ursula said that was that Morgan David.
And they wonder why so many alcoholics around there. You talking about it?
We started in church.
Yeah, the church was
For the first Sunday.
wine and grape juice and sparkling wine and all that stuff. Grape sparkling wine.
And Andre.
Hey, getting these folk drunk.
It's like, how dare you question anything? I like the combos discussion personally.
And you know, I'm gonna tell you one thing about that. I know people used to be mad because don't nobody. That's when you really know that people sometimes don't know that that's not into it like they say they is, because when you question somebody's faith or something, you should be strong in your faith to go back and forth with somebody. But when you're not as strong as something, you don't want to go back and forth.
No, because you don't know the answer.
Right. And I think a lot of people like that. A lot of people don't realize how much they don't know, because a lot of people just go to church, look at the little, look at the book or whatever, and just it's just a cycle. You know what I'm saying? I like to hear the music. Like I told people from the door, if they just talk in church the Bible and stop singing, people stop going to church. I guarantee you, if they stop playing music and just taught you stuff at church, they'll stop going to church. If they actually just taught the Bible, if Bible study was from 9 to 1 o'clock, wouldn't nobody be there. You know, I ain't lying. When nobody be in the church, if they told you Bible study is from 9 to 1:30, and then at 1:40, well, at 1:30, we going walking for an hour for our health, would nobody go to church? Nobody.
That's the way.
No more heels. No more heels in church. We are not at a fashion show no more.
Oh Lord. I know this one dude, he told me, he said, I used to go to church just to sit behind this one sister to watch her booty bounce when she clapped. He's like, and she knew I was watching. He said, every time she clapped, he said she was done for it, throwing in the circle. I'm like, really? He's like, when she died, I stopped going to church.
Because like I remember back in the day, I remember women, you just get up right there in front of the church, because a lot of them wanted that attention. They'll get up in that aisle, they'll have them high heels on, they'll did the stomp, and you be like, look at them leg muscles on her. She get right in the aisle. See, that's when you know it ain't just real like that, because they'll come out of that. See, they'll make sure they sit on the end, because they know they want to get up and get in the aisle real quick. See, they get in the middle, they can just stand straight up and have to stay there. You know what I'm saying? But if they get on the aisle or one of them ends, they can get up in the middle of the around and everything up in that thing. I'm just saying.
Man, you so silly.
What you say? Uh-oh.
We read that. Ursula said, you can't become an alcoholic on no thimble of wine. Oh, okay.
A lie? How people start smoking cigarettes? One puff.
You get a shot.
One puff, just like a shot. It's the same thing.
Chelsea said, I need to sing and make me catch the Holy Ghost. She said, I started nodding on the sermon. Oh, Lord. Ursula said you have to study not just what you believe, but other beliefs and faiths as well. So when someone is trying to test your knowledge, you are well equipped.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't do it.
Brian said we can never blame the children. That's what we said.
Yeah, and
A lot of times we are toxic and don't even know it. We just blame our kids.
We're gonna mess around and get back on the subject. We all off the subject and stuff.
That be you doing this stuff, but we good.
Yeah. Okay.
Herschel said, if I couldn't sing anymore, then I would just stay home and sing and study.
See, that's what I'm saying. If they didn't let you sing in church or they didn't play the drums, the piano, if they took all that stuff out the tangerine thing?
Tambourine.
They took all that out of church when nobody come. When nobody come to church. I'm sorry to tell y'all, when nobody come. They just stopped the choir, stopped singing. And they just started, if you play songs, if they just play songs on the piano, they didn't have no choir, and the preacher didn't act like he was suffering. If he didn't,
he just talked.
If he ain't do that,
that'd be good. Church would be over with quick.
Let me tell you something. Nah, if he didn't do that, if he. I think every preacher got to learn that. Like he can I get some water over here? Okay.
And my throat already hurt. You need to stop.
I ain't gonna do that. I ain't do it. But I'm just saying, though. if he couldn't learn that, let me see. He had to.
No. What's the thing you be doing like a blind ice? you got it in you. It's in your blood. It's in your blood. Know what you said?
It ain't in there right now. I'm trying to be good. I'm trying to be good. Let's get back on the subject
before he have church. He felt it in his belly.
Yeah, man. Wow.
We were just talking, Brian, I guess you just came on. We have been discussing, like, can we blame the children, for toxic parenting or co-parenting? And no, we can't blame the children, but we have been discussing things about how being toxic parents, can be for children. And one of the things I do know that is very toxic, and people don't believe this, but it is for children, is when you expect so much out of your children, like having expensive appearances. Jordans, Nike, Polo this, Rock Revivals, red bottoms. These kids want these type of things. I be looking at these parents, they be spending at least over $2,000 for proms and things like that. I remember if you can get you $100 prom dress back in the day, that was a plus. Now they paying over $500 or
and
more.
Every time somebody, the biggest thing that we go through now, everybody trying to top each other. Like that last one I seen with the girl with the gun and had a gun laid on the prom dress and had a gun in her hand and a prom dress. I was like, man, people do anything for likes now. It ain't got so ridiculous where in the world that a young lady going to the prom need to be holding a gun.
Well, I agree with you. I don't think that was deemed necessary, but I have seen one where a young lady was going to the prom and like her daddy or her uncles or something like that, they were standing around with their guns like she better be home on time, they was like doing like protecting her.
I wouldn't have been mad if I seen somebody else with the gun in there, but they
Yeah,
laid one on her dress and they had
yeah.
one in her hand like she trying to be miss.
Uh-huh. Yep.
Yeah,
And that girl, she was expelled from school for that and
they
was
said,
not able to graduate.
yeah,
Walk
they said
for the
they said
graduation.
they said something about she had her gun license or some. It was something that the people that wrote the post said on there, like,
But I still don't understand what was that having to do with
yeah,
the prom.
right,
As many school shootings, they
right.
probably thought anything,
You
They
got
don't
an
know what
AR,
was about to
you got
transpire.
an AR, and then you got to think about it. As soon as they come and say, "Oh, is this your mom or daddy gun?" I bet you could have said no. So
Mm-hmm.
people got to look at it. Where are you buying these kind of weapons? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I look at it like that too. So it is what it is, man.
Yeah, but we become a little toxic with having our children with these expensive appearances. There are so many parents that I know that, haven't even graduated, high school. So they're living their high school dream through their children with proms and sweet 16 parties and like living above your means just to make this for people to see.
Oh yeah.
So you don't care so much about what your kids have learned or whether or not they're happy.
Yeah.
You're just putting this out there so the child can go out here and give this
But
impressional
but guess what? That's
look.
another thing we were talking about, living through your child. See,
Yep.
a lot of people wanted to have guns on their prom and put it in that, and put it in the child hands, or wanted somebody else in a limo because they didn't get to ride in a limo, or
Yep.
you know what I'm saying? Like, these are some negative things that you can get your child hurt or something. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
But like me, my father wouldn't even allow me to attend my prom. And that's because he said girls don't do nothing. Prom, what does prom have to do with your education? And he said, you go to prom, you're going to come home with the baby. So dad said, no, you're not going. I'm like, really? He didn't
Well,
let me.
I used to watch all the movies, and it was halfway like that. Let's catch up on that list.
Ursula said, we finished in an hour and a half. By 1:30, I'm back at home after 4 services.
That
So
about
you
right.
did 4 services in an
That
hour
about
and a
right.
half?
Sometimes now, huh?
She said after 4 services, so I guess morning service, Sunday school, 11 o'clock. I don't know what the fourth one could be, but she said an hour and a half. Y'all did some fast singing and stuff.
Okay.
Chelsea said those 3 songs hit different when you're going through it. That is so true. Yeah, they sing the right song. You'll be in there crying like, wow, why am I crying?
Yeah, true.
Chelsea said, were the guns even registered to her? It was very unnecessary.
Yeah,
That's so true.
very. And people try to do our language, and they don't realize once you do something like that, everybody, because of the attention they got, everybody want to do it next time. And see, that's what they trying to keep from happening.
Prevent
Somebody
that.
trying to top it. Then see, that's the same thing with some of these school shootings. People be sitting up there, oh, one person, I gotta top this. I got that joker, he shot 20 people. I'm gonna try to shoot 40. You know what I'm saying? I'm
Yep.
telling you, man, it doesn't got to the point people say, I'm gonna go out, but I'm gonna go out and everybody gonna remember me. Well,
How they be wanting to go out as a superstar, the man that did this, and you don't know you dead too.
uh-oh. She said
Person said my daughter had designer handbags, nails done, hair always on point, but she had to work for it. She don't just get it cause she wanted it. I had my own credit card as a child, but I worked for that privilege by keeping my grades up. You work for the things you want.
right. I
At one time we were talking about giving children allowances. And I don't know exactly where I saw it, but somebody was saying a man, he was like, why should I allowance my child for something they should do? You should go to school and get good grades. You should come home and make your bed that I purchased for you and allow you to sleep in, things like
You
that.
know
So
what?
I kind of understood what he was saying, but coming up, people wanted to give their child an incentive, for things that they've done as children.
I messed up and did that to my mom and tried to get an allowance. And she was, I was like, Craig, I'm gonna have to call it out. I was like, Craig around the corner, he get paid for mowing his daddy yard, his yard, you know what I'm saying? And she was like, that's Craig's house. This house don't run like that. And
That's
you get out there and don't ask me about that no more ever. So I ain't never get around like that. When I used to get so mad because I was my mama only child, and they used to say you were spoiled, and I'd be like, you a lie. I done worked for everything I had to get. So I didn't even believe in when somebody told me I was spoiled. I was mad.
People feel like because you're the only child, you may be spoiled, but not in all instances. Ursula said we have four worship services on Sunday: 7:30, 9, 10:30, and 12. So our four is still shorter than some churches' one service, and that includes Sunday Bible study. 7:30, 9, 10:30, and 12. Is that for the convenience of all the people that want to get up early and get it out the way? Or what? I mean, do everybody stay for all four services or just the singers?
Well, it looked like every one of them is an hour and a half.
Hmm. That's
No,
what I'm
because
saying.
I'm looking at it now, and I'm looking at it like 7:30 to 9, 9 to oh, 10:30, and then and then
10:30 to 12.
10:30 to
See, the
12.
7:30 to
Then
9, that's an hour and a
and
half.
then
9 to 10:30, that's what.
hour and a half all the way, and then she said 12 noon to 1:30. That's an hour and a half right there. The
Oh,
last
she said she's home by 1:30.
right. But that's full services. I guess what you're trying to say because
Well, before
some
the
people have their stuff
pandemic, I
at
used to
night.
be at church for 8 o'clock service. And that was for people that couldn't make the 11 o'clock. So
But
we have 8 o'clock,
you,
then
you
Sunday
must,
school, then 11 o'clock.
my sister said 7:30. Ain't no way they ain't gonna
But
get you
you'll go
in.
to work at
That
7:30.
shit. Chelsea ain't finna do nothing at 7:30 in the morning.
Ursula said, I believe in teaching them about how working for pay is in the adult world. They learn how to save, budget, and give. They have that same work ethic now. That's good.
I, I don't even know if Chelsea. I don't even know if Chelsea ever had a real job in her life. Okay, my bad. But I'm serious. I don't think we wasn't raised to have like real jobs like that. Said I catch y'all at 9, and that's work too. 9. Look, that she gonna have to get paid for that one.
Mhm.
I'm just saying. Chelsea, have you ever? Hold on, Chelsea, have you ever had a regular job? I just got to ask because I'm nosy. Let's see.
She said I worked at a shoe department at 19. Okay.
That probably last job she ever
So you can't get no Social Security from that problem.
had. Chelsea said nope. Okay. Yeah, I know. Look, at least we done had jobs before. Some people ain't had jobs before. I done had, think about 3 jobs. I had 4 jobs. Man. About 4 jobs in my life.
Hmm. You have?
Yeah.
Okay. Ursula said we have three campuses, and that is for convenience basically because not everyone can make it each Sunday because of work or whatever. I do all four, but not every worship leader does.
Mm. Well, if you do all four, you doing what? Um, 5, 6 hours. Yep. First and last. I've been hustling ever since.
I know because once you got that minimum wage paycheck, you're like, oh no,
Guess what? Minimum wage when I was coming up, get what minimum wage was?
$3.
$3.25.
Okay.
Lord.
I knew it was a long time ago.
Hey, look. Hey, look. I remember when the pay had just went up to 5.25, right? I had went to a job. I worked there about a whole week. I went to Jackson Paper Company. I asked this dude. The dude said he had been there 40 years. This old black man. And I said, "How much you get paid?" And he was like, 5.75. I said, "Can I get my 2 week notice? I'm out this month."
But you know what? In a lot of those companies, they've had those type of people, like maybe that guy that put in all those years with those companies,
Never
and
moved.
they never gave them the pay that they deserve, and been hiring people way after them that's getting paid double what they've
Right.
been getting paid.
Guess
But
what?
as long as those faithful men would come, they would pay them
Guess
back.
what? That man did that every week, and I remember when I showed up. I remember they hired some men out of McGee, and these dudes was driving 30, 40 minutes every morning to get there to become everybody boss, and didn't even know what nothing was. I was like, all right, y'all can count me out. Y'all go give me my family checks. I was gone. I had already put my 2 week notice on the look. I I I worked there 3 weeks in all. I worked there. You know how you had to get a week first before you even get a check, and then when I was working that week, and then when I asked, oh boy, then after that week and stuff, I put my 2 weeks in, and I was up out of there.
Well, at least you put in 2 week notice. You can go back
You
if you
could,
would like to.
you know that back in the day, it'll mess you up if you didn't, if you just left for a
Right.
job.
I said at least you can go back if you want to.
No, I never thought about that job ever again in my life. Jackson Paper Company, you can have it. Never thought about it again.
Mhm. Well, I guess I just been luckily blessed, you know, during my time because, I've always been blessed in my situation. Just said, I wish I still got that Social Security check though. You had to stay in school 10 years to keep that up.
Mm.
I just said 215 was what I made at first. First job was doing the summer program. I was like 14. Oh, wow.
Oh yeah, that could have been. I bet she was a waitress because
No, she probably worked in the office or something. She was on the summer program. I worked with some children.
um I remember waitresses used to get like that, like 218 or something like that. Plus they tips, they get that.
But
That was their
it
minimum
was
wage.
still considered income. That's why a lot of waitresses don't tell how much tips they get.
Hell no, I wouldn't tell them.
Hmm.
Shit,
Unreported income. That's
that's
your
my
bonus.
that's my right. That's my stuff.
That's
Just
why I try not to tip a waitress from the card that I pay from. I try and tip them cash
yeah,
because they can count it.
yeah, yeah. I can't look. You can't mess around with this.
She said now her modeling check was hella money. Okay. You had an agent and all that stuff too. So they had to let you make money so they can get paid.
Right. They like, I want that 10%.
Uh-huh. 5%. Let me make her big checks.
Yeah.
Yep, I knew it was an office. She said I worked at DHS and Child Services as a file clerk. Mostly when you do interns, they put you in office environments because my first internship was at the VA hospital. I was doing airborne, creating programs for their airborne system, which I was majoring at the time in computer science. So I was helping
Yeah,
with that.
internship is for college folks. My internships was in Washington. No, okay.
Yours was in Zyrek.
Yeah, what else you got for us?
That's it. That's all I have. We understand about toxic parents.
Oh, man. Well, all I can say is, hold on, let me see.
Oh, she said her mom was her manager. She didn't get paid. So you think mama got her point off of there, girl? She said
Right.
that was her agent.
But I forgot. How we get in is how we got to go out.
That part.
We will see you tomorrow night. I will put up my fire subject in the morning so we can get busy tomorrow night. See y'all later. See y'all 9 o'clock tomorrow.
9 o'clock tomorrow. Good night, everybody.
Nicole, she belongs to the streets.
Please, please. I don't have any time for any gossip now. Eh? Yes.
Well, we'll see y'all. Don't forget to like and share. And we will see y'all tomorrow night. How they say, have a good night.
Good night.
Good night, y'all. Oh, let me show our names before we get about this thing. Mr. Know-It-All and Miss Bella up in his joint. Don't forget to like and share, and we will see you tomorrow night. Nice show, and we will make it even better because this was Messy Mondays, but it gonna be Petty Tuesday.
Petty Tuesday.
All right, rest in peace, Kevin Samuels and all the fallen soldiers. Peace out.